Hey guys, this is the voice of YouTube's very own Shadow the Hedgehog here, came at you with a new theory video, and once again I have my very lovely girlfriend, Mizuki Ravendale here.
Hello everyone.
So last time we theorized about if Silver is Shadow's and Amy's descendant, and I totally forgot to mention two things in there, and watching the Shadow Cousins help. Number one, Silver never recognized Shadow.
No, he did not. He thought Shadow was Mephiles.
So that definitely goes against that whole theory that Shadow is Silver's ancestor or his dad, and they also even said there too that it's 200 years in the future. So that even adds more evidence. So I'm kind of in the mindset that he's not. His parents are probably someone else. He could be the descendant of Shadow or someone else, or he could be the descendant of Sonic and Amy. And when it comes to the whole chaos control thing, I think Shadow was more shocked than anything. Like, wait, this random kid can use chaos control that easily.
Yeah, it seemed like he was very shocked at that.
The reason why now again, some people may also point out, well, he wasn't shocked about Sonic. I think Shadow knew that Sonic was capable of things, because Shadow viewed Sonic in Sonic Adventure 2 as a very worthy adversary.
Yep.
But anyways, we're not here to do another video on that. Today we're going to be discussing the real reason why I personally think that Shadow was put in stasis. And there are so many things in the game, in Sonic 06, that
kind of hint at that.
Yeah, kind of proves my theory to be correct. So that's why I also have Mizuki here as well to help me out if I forget stuff.
Yeah.
So pretty much, let's start out with the part to where Mephiles was introduced.
Oh boy.
To Shadow and Rouge. Kind of in a way his first appearance. Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mephiles was sealed in the Scepter of Darkness by Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yep.
10 years in the past. And Mephiles was waiting for the day he can be unleashed so he can get his revenge on Shadow. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, in a way, they did something kind of similar with Infinite.
Yeah, they kind of did.
Of course, they did it a little more poorly with Infinite than they did with Mephiles.
Yeah, they did.
And when he takes the form of Shadows, well, pretty much takes the form of Shadow, he says that, I owe you, Shadow the Hedgehog. And he starts talking these things that Shadow's like, wait, what are you talking about? And what he was referring to was the fact that Shadow sealed him up in the Scepter of Darkness. And he was going to do everything he can to ruin Shadow's life.
Oh, yeah.
Because 10 years ago, before that, Mephiles mentions that I will remember your face, I will remember your form. Pretty much that I'm going to do anything I can to get rid of you.
Yeah, and then he also, I quote, also says you will die.
Yeah. So, pretty much, that's the setup here. So during the event of Sonic 06, Mephiles was impacting the story no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Silver was impacting Sonic's story because of Mephiles. Because Mephiles was manipulating him. Mephiles was messing around with Shadow for obvious reasons, because he wanted revenge. And then he was also a big part of Silver's story because he was manipulating Silver to kill Sonic for him.
Yep.
But
that way he didn't have to do it.
Because Mephiles already knew that at least was able to trigger. Like, he knew.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that he lied to Silver, and that's why I think we can't take what he said seriously. Yes, Shadow was put in stasis, but not for the reason why Mephiles said.
Exactly.
Now, a big key to this was the fact that during, after Shadow and Rouge gets the Green Chaos Emerald, they find Omega's husk, and he's in standby mode. And he's been there for a long time. He's pretty rusted. He's pretty dusty.
Pretty rusty, yeah. He's rusty and dusty.
And I would not be surprised if that a little part of that was battle damage from Shadow too.
Oh yeah.
Because we do
Omega
know fought him. He was
yeah.
he was the reason why Shadow was put in stasis. But then Mephiles says something that kind of contradicts everything he said, because Shadow asks him directly, "Were you the cause of this?" And then Mephiles goes, "The answer is yes and no."
Yep.
And he only answered the no part. He never mentioned the yes part, but he kinda did at the same time, because he mentions that the humans feared Shadow's power. And they turned against him.
Which led to Shadow and Omega having to fight, and Shadow being put in stasis the way he was.
But in the past, Mephiles mentioned that I will remember your form. I will remember your, remember. So, was it really Shadow that the humans were feared of? I don't think so. I think it was the typical case that happened in Sonic Adventure 2, to where people got Shadow mixed up with Sonic. This time, it was Mephiles being confused with Shadow, which makes a lot more sense, because Mephiles, from afar, you wouldn't know it's Mephiles. He looks like Shadow because he took Shadow's form. So,
yep, this is true.
And not only that, but in the ruins, Mephiles mentions how that the eye. How did he say it exactly?
The eye of the past absorbed your shadow
power, like something along
Shadow's
those lines.
Power. No, it was something along those lines. I was trying to remember it word for word, but it was something along those lines, that him of the past, and it had it in quotes.
Yeah,
in the game,
and
absorbs your power through your shadow.
Yeah, and the cutscene should be up here. If we're getting anything wrong, the cutscene should help you guys understand what we're saying.
Yep.
And that kind of adds credence to the fact that Mephiles also must have gained some of Shadow's power, because Shadow mentions how Mephiles' technique was very similar to Chaos Control.
Yep. Which is true, by the way. It is kind of similar to Chaos Control.
So, is Mephiles using a corrupted version of Chaos Control?
That is a high possibility, all things considered.
And then also, too, Omega was the one that fought and defeated Shadow, and was the reason why he was put in stasis. And he mentions how, once something is feared enough, and it's kind of true, this is how human nature is. If something becomes too powerful, we start becoming jealous.
Jealous, yeah.
And we want to get, that has been that's been a theme of so many, Japanese fiction. Look at...
You aren't wrong.
Look at the Nine-Tailed Biju from Naruto. They were the same thing. The humans feared them, was so, obsessed with their power, that they sealed it up in these humans to become human weapons. So that
pretty much.
So that they can control them. The only one that wasn't was Naruto. I believe Naruto was one of the only Jinchuriki that was born because of selfless reasons.
Yeah, I believe so, because
Minato did it to save the Leaf Village.
The village, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess the bottom line is, was Mephiles the reason why Shadow was feared? I think it was.
I think it was too, considering those specific lines we talked about earlier of him saying he would remember his face and form.
And the fact that the Eye of Now has absorbed the
power of your shadow
through the past.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, he might be the reason why Shadow is the way he is in the future.
Mm-hmm. And I think now, to put this in a complete story, I think Shadow wasn't feared until Mephiles came along and decided, you know what?
How can I ruin someone's day?
Yeah, I think Mephiles went around and was doing stuff they wasn't supposed to ruin Shadow's reputation. Because, yes, Mephiles said that he was going to, off Shadow. He was going to get rid of him.
He's going to get rid of him one way or another.
And I think what happened was the humans becoming feared and thinking what Mephiles was doing with Shadow kind of also connected with Mephiles' goal, and Mephiles just kept doing it until finally humans had enough, and probably GUN hired Omega to either capture Shadow or take him out. Because from what it seems like, Rouge wasn't aware of all that. We don't know Rouge's whole...
We don't know where Rouge's whole thing's at in the future when that happens.
We don't know if she's away on a different mission, or maybe like Rouge tried to stop them from doing that, and maybe like she was put into jail, or maybe the worst case scenario.
Oh God.
We don't know Rouge's role in that.
Yeah.
And that is why this whole theory is probably something that I've always wondered. And actually, this was the theory that made me want to do this sort of new series. Is that Mephiles manipulates people. He is smart. He knows what to do to get what he wants. It got to the point that his plan with Silver failed. Trying to get Shadow on his side fair. So finally, in the last story, he decided to, I'll just take
time to kill Sonic.
Mm-hmm. And in a lot of ways, let me remember something here.
Are you talking about the part where Mephiles caused Sonic the Ambush trigger?
No. There was some sort, I forgot what it was, but there was something that we watched, or like theory video we watched, where the main baddie just got tired of his subordinates failing.
Oh.
That the main baddie came in and decided to do stuff himself.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. Frick, I forgot.
But
I forgot what that was, but I can see where you're going with that.
And it definitely, and I'm sorry if this theory seems kind of choppy. It's just, trying to remember stuff, and for some strange reason we forgot crap even after watching it, which is why I need to start writing notes down. So
I think we both needed to.
So,
but I think we got most of the good points across that we wanted to get across.
Now, on one hand, just for all the naysayers out there, like, no way, that's not possible. It's like, it is totally possible. Why is it that Shadow, who is seen as a hero, that defeated a race of aliens that was going to cause harm that could have destroyed Earth,
literally lifts up a fucking meteor?
Why would he all of a sudden turn against the humans? Because he wouldn't.
No. He's got to keep his promise to Maria.
Again, which is something that luckily they've kept even in the more, I guess, lackluster story-driven Sonic games during the recent era.
This is true.
Is that Shadow is still keeping his promise to Maria. Even in Sonic Forces, he still kept his promise to Maria. Even though that they try to fool us by have it seem like Shadow is on Infinite's side, which as it turns out, it was just an illusion. I wish instead of having Shadow there, they had Mephiles instead.
Dude, that would have been freaky as heck to see Mephiles there as an illusion.
The fact of the matter is that no matter how you guys feel towards Sonic 06, Mephiles is the perfect Sonic villain.
Oh yeah.
He was smart. He was cunning. He
was a conniving.
You know, he made Crushing. He didn't make Sonic and Shadow fight. But here's the thing. We don't know what happened to Sonic in Silver's future either.
No, we don't. We don't know what happened to Knuckles or Tails either.
So,
we know that Elite dies.
Yeah, because of Eggman.
Yeah, because of Eggman.
Which was probably how that was how Iblis was probably unleashed before.
Yep.
So there's also alternate timelines stuff we can do with this too, but I want to keep it with what we know from the story. Is that I think I'm gonna set up a timeline of events here. So pretty much the Solaris project fails. You know, the whole thing explodes. Shadow goes after Mephiles. Silver goes after Iblis. They both are able to seal Iblis and Mephiles, but Mephiles swears that he's going to do everything he can to basically be a thorn in Shadow's side.
This is very true.
And then 10 years later, when the present-day Shadow, that's unaware of what he did 10 years ago, helps rendezvous with Rouge, where she has the Scepter of Darkness. And then at Kingdom Valley, Mephiles gets unleashed, takes the form of Shadow's Shadow, and then proclaims to him that basically he was thanking Shadow for doing what he did, because now, and pretty much saying like, how could you forget me and all that, which was Shadows and Mephiles, I guess in a way, more first time meeting each other, technically.
I don't think it was.
Babe, I'm talking about Kingdom Valley when Mephiles gets unleashed.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
Technically, that was Shadows and Mephiles' first time meeting, because that was the first time we met Mephiles in the game.
Yep.
Even though technically, by story reasons, Shadow has already met Mephiles 10 years ago. And then Mephiles sends Shadow and Rouge to the future, sending them a one-way ticket to Oblivion. Which kind of leads me to believe that Mephiles was going to kill them.
Yeah, I believe he was too.
But something happened to where they appeared in the future instead. Maybe like Shadow did some quickly thinking and used Chaos Control, because Shadow's able to use Chaos Control without a Chaos Emerald.
This is very true.
But I believe it's not as strong with a Chaos Emerald. Or B, he could have undid his limiters and got them out of there that way too. Like I said, we don't know these things. We
don't know. We can only theorize and take a guess at it.
Yeah, and speculate things. So they end up in the future. They do research, and then they realize that they're in 200 years in the future. Eggman's base is destroyed. Elise is dead, and they encounter Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and then they go off to find Chaos Emeralds. And then when Rouge and Shadow finally finds the green one, they find Omega's husk, and then they realize that he's in standby mode. They don't know why. They can't help him right now. And
Shadow feels a lot of sorrow, because when he says there's a lot of sorrow in his voice.
They meet up with Sonic. They meet up with Sonic, and then they go after another Chaos Emerald. They find Iblis, and then they use Chaos Control to get back to the future. Shadow stays behind because he sees Mephiles, and that's when we started. And that's when Mephiles proclaims that yes and no, he was responsible for what happened in the future. And then he told him that the humans got afraid of them, and that Shadow is pretty much entitled to justice. Shadow refused, and then during conversation too. It was a review. I believe I said that Shadow was put in stasis.
Yeah.
I believe I said that during this whole timeline thing. Omega show, and then Rouge gets Omega to support Shadow. And then we pretty much reveal, then it's revealed that Omega was the reason why he was defeated. And Shadow was defeated and put in stasis.
Yeah.
And then later on in the ruins, we find even more that Meph was most likely the one that do it because of things he said from the past and also the present. In the past, he clearly said that I will remember you.
Yeah, he clearly said that.
And then in the ruins, he says that the Eye of Now has absorbed the power of your shadow through the past.
The past, yeah.
Do I think that Mephiles was the reason why Shadow was probably captured? Yeah, I do think he was. Not only that, Mephiles tried again to manipulate Shadow again by being like, why would you help those that will try to get rid of you? And Shadow proclaims, if the world chooses to become my enemy, I will fight like I always have. And for all the fans of my
really good line.
And for other people that wants me to do that line in my Shadow voice, if the world chooses to become my enemy, I will fight like I always have.
It's such a good line.
So pretty much that's my opinion on this theory. Now until we have more confirmation from Sonic Team on this, this is going to be what I think that happened until they came out and said, no. The humans actually did go after Shadow because Shadow, because of what they said. Sometimes in stories, they don't have to clearly say things. They want the audience to figure it out, and I think that Memphis was responsible. If he was responsible enough to kill Sonic, knowing that it would get Elise to unleash Iblis, to have Iblis break out of Elise, he's that smart to act like Shadow and to get the humans to be afraid of Shadow and his power.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, we don't know...
Mephiles is really smart.
And we don't know if Mephiles has the ability to even alter his colors. So maybe, he could have also altered his spines to look black with, the red stripes.
Like Shadow.
Shadows. We don't know if he has the ability to do that. But yeah, that's it for this theory video. Comment down below what you think.
Give us your opinion.
Next time we will make sure to have notes, or I will have notes. If you're new here, definitely make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, hit that bell button. Make sure to click that bell button to get all of our notifications, of course. And also, if you're interested in joining Project Archie, there should be a link on the screen or down below in the description to the announcement video.
Yep.
And yeah, if you all have any ideas for theories, definitely comment them down below, and I will.
Oh heck yeah, we'll look into it.
Yeah, we'll look into it. But that said, we'll see you all in the next theory video, guys. Bye.
Bye.